So Fubara, I can say, probably has put his brain to work and then played the politics. Before he was doing gentleman, but now I think his eyes are open. He was telling the minister, I am the #1 in this state for APC. So tomorrow, if you want to come and join, you will be under me. And that's why he's telling him my membership form is 001. So even if you enter, you can start from 002. So that is what it is. And being the leader of the state is in charge of the party in the state. And even in the APC, he's just joined. He doesn't have oppositions. He doesn't have people that will stress him there compared to the stress he's going through PDP under Nwike's control. So now, he's no more under PDP. So he's no more under Nwike's control. So what he needs to now do further is to strengthen his relationship with the president. And that's why he keeps shouting that they will support the president in 2027. So to tell the president that your boy as FCT minister does no more have control here in this state. I'm the one who have that control. So focus on me now. It's me and you that will work together. It's no more strong in this state. It's an outlier in this state. That's exactly the message Sim Fubara is sending. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Today we want to look into the politics, going on in River State. Just to give you a kind of little background of what has been going on in River State. Remember the fight between the governor Sim Fubara and the ex-governor Nyesom Nwike, who is also the minister of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja. You know how their fight began. The ex-governor is trying to control his godson, because he was the one who spearheaded, the governor to take charge, after he has completed his 8 years tenure in the state. So, the fight lingered to the point that there was an attempt to impeach the governor, and so a whole lot, went down to the point that they had series of meetings with the president to broker peace between them, but it didn't turn out with a good result. So it got to the point that, the president has to declare, a state of emergency in River State just to remove the governor. And when the state of emergency was declared, early 2025, the governor was suspended. The House of Assembly was also suspended, including the deputy governor, for 6 months. And they served out the 6 months. The governor did not even bother, to go to court, in as much as, some of the party allies have to, push out for the case, and the case ended up in Supreme Court, which we are yet to, await the decision of the Supreme Court on that. But I know technically the Supreme Court stylishly, delayed hearing that matter until I served this 6 months. So I think in September, Sim Fubara's 6 months elapsed and he resumed back his position. But if you recall, even when he was serving the 6 months at Somfura, he said that he's not even interested in returning back, to the government house. But as the case may be, when the tenure elapsed, we saw him back in the government house, and he assumed position as the governor, still in the People's Democratic Party with his godfather, former governor of the state, Nyesom Nwike. Both of them are still in PDP at that time in September. So, they kind of came on air, said that they have brokered peace, took pictures at the presidential villa with the president and all that. So Nwike even made, was some of the, I think the press was asking him some questions. The press was asking Nwike, questions after the peace meeting, and they said that they have settled and everything is now fine. And that is how the whole matter ended. But I'll put it to you that today, nobody knows exactly what is the bone of contention between Nyesom Nwike and the governor, Sim Fubara. Nobody knows exactly what their issues are. But we know that between godfather and godson, the godfather is always trying to control the godson, telling him what to do and what not to do. He will not allow the godson to have the free hand to run the state, as the case may be, drawing inference from things we have known in the past. So that's what we believe is going on, in as much as none of the two parties have come out to say, this is what Sim Fubara did to me, or this is what Nwike did to me. So that's what it is. So all the effort, Nwike spearheaded, trying to pull out the, members of the House of Assembly from PDP to join APC so that they can impeach the governor. All those who prove abortive. Even the governor went ahead and demolishing, the House of Assembly, complex, just to frustrate them from, carrying out that impeachment process. So, but at the end of the day, like I mentioned, the state of emergency was declared and he served out his tenure. And during that time, somebody was brought in the name of sole administrator, who was the former chief of naval staff, who has retired. So the man came on board, and the first thing he did, Fubara was still serving his 6 month suspension, but the first thing he did was trying to dismantle all the political structure Sim Fubara has inherited from his godfather in PDP. How did he do that? He suspended the state, INEC executive. INEC in Abuja have their state offices, which they call state INEC, right? SIEC. So he fired the person, put their own man, who will now, do their bidding. And the next step was to dissolve the local government election that Sim Fubara conducted, which with PDP won all the local government. And then he reconducted a new local government election, where APC now won 97% of the local government. I think PDP only won 3 local government, including Nwike's local government. So all this thing happened when he was still in suspension. So that sole administrator came in to do the work of those antagonizing the governor and dismantle the structure, impose another structure under the platform of the APC. Remember, party ownership starts from the grassroots, which is the ward to local government level to state level before you now talk of the federal level. And looking at the bone of contention or the state of contention or the area the battle is, it's all about a state. So which means the most important structure there is the state, is the ward, the local government, and then the state. So if you capture the ward and the local government as a state governor, then you know that you are in charge of that state, basically. So that's exactly what the sole administrator did for them. Removed some, appointees of Sim Fubara and brought in their own people who are loyal to Nwike. So at the end of the day, when Sim Fubara came back, it was like floating alone in the midst of APC people. That's exactly what it is. So it was like working with people he did not appoint, working with local government structure that is opposition to his party. So it was like a lone wolf in the wilderness. So just like the prodigal son, that's just what it is. So, but I think that 6 months gave him opportunity to think. That's what I believe. And then maybe now have new guys around him who have, electric brain to think as fast as they could. And then what happened? This is where the new game began. And at the end of this video, I want you to, tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Who do you think it has the upper hand today as it is with what I will say in this video? All right. So before I go into details now, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that as soon as my next video drops, you will always be among those that will be notified, so that we'll be getting all these things as it is hot. In this channel, we carry out a lot of analysis, looking at information that is available. We're able to piece them together to be able to provide, some insight on what is going on. So having said that, let's look into these issues. From the perspective, I looked at the whole gamut of what has transpired, what is happening today, and where it is heading to. First, I will tell you that I think that the Minister of FCT's job, Nyesom Nwike's job, is at risk. I think his job right now is threatened. I will tell you why in the course of this video. First, what did Sim Fubara did when he resumed office? First step he has taken recently was to, create a new song. Remember, the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has his own song, On Your Mandate We Stand. That song, he has it, right? That song was formulated during the electioneering campaign in 2023. But as we speak, Sim Fubara has composed a new one, which I think we may take over the On Your Mandate. And what was that new song? He said, if you dey support Tinubu, no follow corner corner.
If you dey follow Asuwaju, no dey waka corner corner. Fubara dey tell you something. Sim Fubara tell you something. Sim Fubara tell you something. If you dey follow Sim Fubara, no follow corner corner. Sim Fubara tell you something. Sim Fubara tell you something. Sim Fubara tell you something. If you dey follow Asuwaju, no follow corner corner. If you dey support Tinubu, no follow corner corner. You dey hear wetin I dey talk? We dey support Tinubu, we no dey follow corner corner.
So that was the song. And he was following the footsteps of Nwike somehow, in the sense that as he's giving a speech, they played a band for him with a song. That's exactly what Nwike does during his tenure as the governor of Rivers State. And he will put up, some dancing steps. But that's the difference between him and Fubara. Fubara doesn't add some dancing steps. So on that fateful day, Fubara announced that he is supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And by 2027, he will work for him to win re-election. And that he's supporting him with his full chest. He's not following corner corner. Let's explain that analogy. What do you think he means? He's speaking to Nwike. It's a mockery to Nwike. How? Nwike claimed that he's supporting Mr. President, right? And Nwike claimed he's working for Mr. President as the Minister of FCT, despite being in another different political party, an opposition party, People's Democratic Party, the PDP. What happened was, if you recall, during 2023 election, when Nwike was floating, he doesn't know which side to belong. He created the 5 governors, right? The G5 governors, who are antagonistic with Atiku Abubakar, their party, candidate at that time. And then, at some point, even among the 5 governors, there was kind of people were switching sides at that point. The Governor Autumn and the rest of them. So what now happened was that Nwike had to have a video call. He recorded the video call, which they shared on the social media, where he had a conversation with the then APC candidate, who is now the current president, negotiating for himself to support him and what is going to benefit if he supports him. And if you remember, the result of the election in Rivers State, if you look at the IREV result, the Labour Party won Rivers State. It was later, everywhere on social media. But the result announced by INEC was saying that APC won in Rivers State. So that tells you that there is the hand of the monkey behind that, announcement. So, but that's aside. Now, when he did that negotiation, that was how it was penciled down that he will be given the FCT minister. And they now went full, stretch to, maneuver whatever he can maneuver in Rivers State to ensure that the president wins Rivers State, according to INEC result. But according to the portal, Labour Party won that state, clearly. So now, he was given the position of the Minister of FCT, right? So he's still in PDP, according to him. So Nwike being in PDP, serving under the APC, government, looks like an anti-party, right? You can't be in this party, and you are supporting an opposition party, working for them. So it's like being a spy in the midst of their party, basically. So when you look at that G5 creation he did, being opposition to the main party and their candidate, what now happened was Nwike focused on working on what benefits him, which is the FCT minister is handling today. So now, for Fubara to sing that song, telling you that Nwike is supporting Bola Tinubu, as he said, but he's supporting him from the corners, through corner. How? He has not decamped to join APC officially to become a full member of the party. That's when you can support the president with your full chest. That's the meaning of that song. So that song is a mockery song to former Governor Nyesom Nwike, who is the FCT minister. That is the meaning of that song. So if Nwike has bones like him, let him decamp from PDP and join APC and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's what he's trying to throw at him. He's throwing a jab at him. That him, Sim Fubara, as they come from PDP to join the APC. So now, when he said that, he took a step, he resigned from the party, from the People's Democratic Party, joined the APC, and that was why he was singing that song. Okay? So he's now a member of the APC. And as the custom, is, when a governor who is seen as the leader of the party in that state, when he decamped from that party and moved to a new party, he moves with all the structure to that new party. So as it is now, Sim Fubara is now the leader of APC in Rivers State. That's what it is. So all the supporters he took with him are now officially in APC. So having done that, something has happened. And what was that? Having they come to the APC and making that mockery song, the next thing he did was, in another folder where he was, speaking on a platform, he said there that he has decamped officially to the APC from PDP, which makes him the #1 member of APC in the state. Remember, in every state, the governor is the #1 citizen of that state, just like the president is the #1 citizen of the whole country.
Today, I'm also very happy this morning. I'm not just a member of the All Progressive Congress. I am the #1. I have collected, listen, wait now, wait. I have collected my card, and the form is 0001.
this moment is not an issue of it be like say, it no be. I am there with all my chest and heart. And what is the message? What is the message? The message is clear. We are going to do everything to make sure that 2027 election for Mr. President will be a smooth drive in Rivers State.
So now, he made a boast that his membership card also bears number 001. Don't forget, in FCT, Nwike said he's number 1 in FCT. His number plate was 001. so you can see what is going on between these two guys. So now, having received his membership card as number 001, he said he's the number 1 person in that party. So anybody joining that party will be under him. So if Nwike comes tomorrow from PDP to join APC, he will be under the leadership of Sim Fubara, the governor of the state. You can see the jump he has set for Nwike now. So how do you think this thing is going to play out? So the question now is, will Nwike leave PDP to join the APC, knowing that Sim Fubara, his boy, is the leader, so he will be under him, taking directives from him? That's the way it is. Will that happen? Time will tell. Another part of this whole, game is that having joined the APC, remember that word they said, the Psalm 23 said that God prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies, right? It is what is happening to Sim Fubara. So, will I say he smartly understood what is playing out and then took advantage of the situation? How did he do that? Don't forget that all his structures he built as PDP governor was dismantled, and a new structure was created as APC structure in Rivers State. So that sole administrator came to prepare the grounds for moving that state to APC state. But they never thought, probably, that Sim Fubara will later change his mind to become loyal to join the APC. Probably they thought he will remain in PDP and they can manage him till the end of his first tenure if they don't use the house to impeach him. By the time he leaves in 2027, because they will not allow him to do re-election, all right, they will now convert the state to APC by winning an APC candidate to be in charge of that state. So that's why the man came and set up that. So because it's strange for a PDP state, for APC, another party, to come and win 97% of the local government election. It is not. Go and check every state. It's impossible. In every state, any party that is governing that state always win almost all the local government election, 100 over 100. It's only on rare cases they may just release 1 or 2 local government to other parties, so that it won't be as if they played mago-mago. Because the governor is in control of the state INEC, basically. So, for that to happen, tells me that they are prepared grounds to move the party to APC. So, when Fubara saw this whole thing, what did he do? He smartly decamped from PDP to join the APC. I will tell you the benefits of what he did to himself, because as far as I'm concerned, every politician, their first thinking is always what benefits them. Not for anybody, them. Not the state they govern, them themselves and their families, and then their cronies. The state or the citizens of the state they are governing is the last in the bottom line of scale of preference of the ability to make decisions for that state. So, having said this, now that he smartly decamped, I use that word smartly on quotes because he read the handwriting on the wall. He saw that he's isolated in that state. He's alone under a strange party. PDP is already in comatose. And now, if he remains in PDP, he have no chance of even finishing his tenure, this first tenure. The reason is because the House of Assembly in the state, virtually 20-something of them, they come to APC. Most of them have already come to APC. So they now have the voting bloc in the House of Assembly, which means by their majority, they can simply impeach him and throw him to the garbage, right? So he saw it that, because he has already started having problem with the House of Assembly already. So he saw it that, man, for me to survive, because what he just did, he made a decision for his survivor. That is the main thing. And that's why in my previous video, I was telling his supporters that they shouldn't be disappointed of his action, because what he just did is for his selfish interest, for his survivor, what benefits him to survive these 4 years first, before we talk about re-election. Now, having understood the game, he decamped. Now he's now a member of that APC, which is in control of the State House of Assembly. There's no way it will be difficult for APC lawmakers to impeach their APC governor. It will be difficult for them to do that. And now that he has decamped officially, he now be in bed with the president, right? With the president. And don't forget that Nwike's position, Nwike's relationship with the president was tied to his ability to deliver River State. Okay? And now that Sim Fubara has switched to APC and in charge of the structure, which means Nwike have no structure in River State. Because the PDP, they don't have anything there. So, and if he cannot deliver, then he's out. So Nwike's job is probably secured, may be secured, you know, for this remaining first tenure of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I will tell you why I said may be secured. The reason is because Nwike has 2 jobs. From my permutation, he has 2 key jobs: to deliver River State and to be a cancer to PDP, to make sure PDP remain in comatose till after 2027 elections. So now they have taken one aspect from him, Sim as detached one. So you only have one portfolio, which is remain in PDP, continue to create confusion there, make sure they are not stabilized till I have won my re-election in 2027. That is the thinking. So you remember the battle he's having with the PDP, right? They have already expelled him from the party, even gave him an expulsion certificate, telling him you no longer belong here. But Nwike won't take it lightly. I know he will fight them. He will make sure he scatter them. He will make sure that before they survive that expulsion they gave to him, the party will be in total disarray, as the case may be. So he's retaining that ministerial job now. Is tied to his ability to disrupt PDP completely. That is what is keeping that job. But after 2027, if Tinubu wins re-election and return, he will not get that position again. Why? Tinubu no longer need him to distort PDP, because he's no more contesting for third term. So he doesn't need him anymore. Fubara is already having the state structure as the APC leader in that state. So Fubara will only get re-election to consolidate that same position. So by then, Nwike will lose out, as the case may be. That's my thinking. I'm looking at every angle to be able to come up with this thought that the way it is going, after 2027 election, Nwike will be extinct. Fubara will consolidate River State. Tinubu will fire him and replace him with somebody else if he wins the election. All right? So, because what else? You are no more in control of the state, because Fubara has taken over the state and the structure and is a member of the party at the center. So, Nwike is in PDP, according to him, in as much as he's working for the APC. So, when you look at these whole games that is going on, everybody is plotting on what will be suitable for him and what will benefit him as a person, irrespective of anything that happens to the state. So Fubara, I can say, probably has, put his brain to work and then played the politics. Before he was doing gentleman, but now I think his eyes are open. And then, what did he now do? He was telling the minister, I am the #1 in this state for APC. So tomorrow, if you want to come and join, you will be under me. And that's why he's telling him, my membership form is 001. So even if you enter, you can serve on 002. So that is what it is. And being the leader of the state is in charge of the party in the state. And even in the APC, he's just joined. He doesn't have oppositions. He doesn't have people that will stress him there, compared to the stress he's going through PDP under Nwike's control. So now, he's no more under PDP. So he's no more under Nwike's control. So what he needs to now do further is to strengthen his relationship with the president. And that's why he keeps shouting that they will support the president in 2027. So to tell the president that your boy as FCT minister does no more have control here in this state. I'm the one who have that control. So focus on me now. It's me and you that will work together. It's no more strong in this state. It's an outlier in this state. That's exactly the message Sim Fubara is sending. So I don't know how Nyesom Nwike will take it. I don't know what other strategy is to play now, because the cards are almost finished as far as it is. So except if we go to River State and create problem in the APC, which I don't think the president will allow. And he knows he still needs this job till 2027, because he's creating a lot of enemies for the way he's governing the FCT in terms of taking people's allocation and saying they didn't pay ground rent, revoke the land, give it to his cronies as alleged, even to his children, companies, and what have you. So all these things are there. So many people are not, happy with him, like you saw between him and the chief of naval staff, where his boys stood their ground that he cannot have access to the land. So that tells you many people are not happy with him, the way he's doing in the FCT. And according to him, he said he doesn't care, this, that. I said, okay, no problem. This is politics, right? By 2027, I believe you me that by then, Nwike will no more be too useful to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and will be thrown under the bus. That's the way it works. Before you know what is happening, by 2027, if Tinubu wins re-election, they may throw EFCC at him to investigate how he managed the FCT funds. You know, every day, almost every week, or every 2 weeks, or every month, because broadcast, press, they will come, live program. You know how much they pay for every, live program per hour? The last time I knew was about 3.5 million. That was years ago. So today, I don't even know the actual price now. That's what he pays. From which pocket? So there's no way we'll be paying with his money. All right? And they will just bring people there, discuss them, hit them here and there. That's the end. The money is gone. So now you see that, many people need to understand the permutations that is going on in River State. Why Fubara is doing what he's doing. In my previous video, I said he has thrown his supporters under the bus, which is true. But I also made it clear that what he was doing is for his own personal interest. He's in the middle of sharks. There's no way he would have survived being a PDP governor in the midst of house dominated by APC, local government governed by APC. So who is he going to work with? Even the appointees that are there are appointed by the APC. That is the sole administrator brought in by the APC. And I think that's where I was having problem with the House of Assembly. I think he came and kind of tried to fire some of them, and the House of Assembly, reacted. And then he piped down low and began to, negotiate his way. And they now saw that for me to breathe in this state, for me to even serve my remaining 2 years or thereabout, till 2027, I need to take a drastic step. And that was when I think he had to discuss with some of his close allies, and they advised him, even other governors advised him, guy, they camp and join this party. That's how you can survive. And if he's in PDP, forget about second term. There's nothing like second term. Remember, Nwike is in PDP, and they will make sure he won't get any ticket for second term. So now that he has joined APC, and he has volunteered to work for president will ensure that he secured the ticket for second term. So you can see his thinking what is beneficial to him at first, and then how he can dismantle Nwike's power around him in the state. So I don't think Nwike will have that grip on him now, because he's not the leader of the party. He's not under Nwike anymore. Nwike is in a different party. He's in a different party. So Nwike cannot come and tell him what to do, as the case may be. So that is his thinking. He thought smart this time and took step. So I understand what he did, and I do hope that people that felt disappointed in him will also understand. At first, I felt disappointed because many people put their head on the line for him when that battle was going on. But coming to just leave and just dump the party and move to another different party, the oppressors, that's where the problem was. But I've sat back again, examined this whole thing, and began to pick out the reasons he did what he did. And I think it's for his survival, and I think it's to see how to amputate Nwike politically, and make him irrelevant in the state, and even put his Nwike's job at risk. Because remember the video call, if he did not meet the requirement, the promises he made to the president, he will throw him under the bus. And one of the promises to deliver River State. So now he cannot even deliver the River State, because River State is no more under PDP. River State is under APC now, and Fubara is in charge, totally in charge. So how will he not deliver? And when you place this thing before the president understands this politics. He knows that who owns the structure of the state is the governor. So he will prefer to work with the incumbent governor, which is Sim Fubara, and who is also in his party, compared to Nwike, who is no more the governor and who is in a different party. So you can see how the whole game is going to play out by 2027. So I don't know what you think. Do you think Nwike is going to survive this? Do you think if Tinubu wins re-election in 2027, that Nwike will still be in his cabinet? Do you think so? If yes, why? Why do you think so? And if you say no, let us also know why you chose that path. All right. So that is the game that is going on in Rivers politics today as we speak. So those things they did with the sole administrator, thinking that they are hurting Sim Fubara, thinking that they are disrupting all his structure. All right. Today, all those things they did, Sim Fubara was sleeping in his house. They did all the groundwork for him. He just came and took the platform. That's it. As simple as that. God prepared a table before you in the presence of your enemies. So he said he will bring the counsel of the wicked to nothing. So all the counsel, all their night talks, night meetings to make sure that Fubara is useless in the state, today it's not favorable to Fubara for this move he just made to the camp from PDP to APC. So the sole administrator was just his jobber. He just came and worked for Sim Fubara. Simple. Because he doesn't need to bother about local government election again, since 97% of local government is under his party, his control. So he can only focus more on the other three, to see what he can achieve there during the election. But at least for the other ones, he's under his control, under his party. You can see that. So the House of Assembly planning to impeach him, they can't now, because the president will not allow them to do that. You see, so he has to now work with the House of Assembly. And now with both of them now in position, he can be able to fire those people they impose on him through the sole administration. Those appointments he made. If he wants to fire them now, he can fire them by sending new names and send those people packing and put his own people. The House of Assembly will do nothing because they are all in the same party. You can see that. So their hands will be tied. And the president will tell them, since he's now in our party, give him the people he wants to work with. Let them work with them. So Nwike will lose out completely. You can see that. So Nwike is not like an outlier. He's in one corner in this whole game. So, well, I think having said all these things, you can now understand what goes on in River State and the game that they are plotting in that state. So for me, I can say that for now, the way it stands today, I will say that Sim Fubara is now the smarter person. That's what it is. He's the person winning politically. That's what it is. So I don't know what else what other cards Nwike has to play. So, and if he decides to leave PDP to join APC today, right, he will fall out with the president. Because if he leaves, who will be the one disrupting what is going on in PDP? That's the question. Except he will anoint someone else. And even if he decamp to join APC, he will become under Sim Fubara. That's it. So he will say that it is his structure that Sim Fubara is using. They destroyed the structure that Nwike built. That's it. Because he built the PDP structure, right? That is, he took over the one Amaechi built, consolidated on it, and when he left, and they brought in the sole administrator during the suspension of the governor, the sole administrator destroyed all the PDP structure Nwike built. Amaechi, Nwike, and the rest of them, Peter, delete them, till he got to Fubara's turn. So this structure have been destroyed. So the new structure now will now be like Bola Tinubu's structure. Let me use that quote. All right, APC structure, which is not built by Nwike personally. So now he has inherited it. So Nwike can say, I built the structure, I'll control that structure. I can't give out my structure to anybody, like he was saying before. So you see that? So you have no claim now on that structure, basically, because you are PDP. So if Nwike built that structure, he will not allow PDP to lose in River State, to lose 97% of the local government in River State. So which means probably is not the one who built the structure. So Tinubu already have eye to convert the state to APC. And that's the job that the administrator came to do for them. It is what it is. It is politics. No personal friend, no personal enemy. It's just personal interest. That's what they told us. Politics is all about. That's what politicians do. So personal interest of Fubara achieved. So who is the loser now? I don't know. Answer at the comment section. Who will you say has lost in this whole games and permutation? If they are settled earlier as PDP people, we wouldn't have gotten to this level. But they did not because of ego and because I want to show I'm in charge. That is the problem they had. If both of them are discussed, he allowed the governor to do his job, and then he knows, where he can have some control and stuff like that. The governor should be free to do his job, at least. They wouldn't have gotten deep as it is now. The way it is, there's no journey, there's no return from this journey. Because if you look at the statement the governor is putting out, he has made a song. If you support president, if they support Tinubu, don't follow corner, talking to Nwike. He also said, I'm the #1 now in APC. Even my membership card is 001. So I'm in charge now in this state. He's sending a message to former Governor Nwike. So you can see that. So guys, I'm going to let it slide here. I will be watching and see whatever unfolds. We'll be able to gather the information, do further analysis and see if things are changing or not changing, or if Sim Fubara is still consolidating as much as possible, and what is the fate of Nwike in the future. So what do you think about Nwike? What do you think about his political career in the next general election and beyond? Do you think he will still have that same power he had when he was governor? Do you think he will still be useful to Asiwaju by then, after 2027? What do you think? And what do you think about his fight with the PDP? So let us know what you think about this whole thing, especially that he are facing Nwike. Because for me, I think Sim Fubara is already marked his corner and settled in his corner and is happy with his position today. So it is what it is. So let us hear from you and drop your comment at the comment section. Please always be respectful in your comment, please. I appreciate you guys who keep liking, who keep commenting on the videos, and also try and share these videos for others to see, what's going on. And then if you are new to this channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you'll be among those to be notified. I don't want you to miss anything, especially when the cooking is hot. All right, when you capture it when it is hot, you will enjoy the information that's coming out. So I will see you guys in my next video. And I appreciate every one of you who are subscribed to this channel. I'll see you in my next video. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm signing out. See ya.